Glædelig from Scandinavian Today. I am going to make one of my favorite Danish soups. It's made on beef stock. I already made the beef stock the other day, and then today I'm going to finish it off with meatballs and flour balls and vegetables, and it is, I tell you, it is my favorite soup. In fact, it brings back wonderful memories from my childhood. Whenever we went to big parties, like confirmation parties, weddings, or any special birthday, this soup was served. And of course my mom also made it, so it's definitely good. So let's get going with it. So here you have the ingredients for my flour balls. I have approximately 1 cup of water, not anymore, okay? 1 cup or just a little bit less would be fine. Then I have 4 ounces of flour, 3 ounces of butter, 2 eggs, and then I have 1 teaspoon of salt. And the first step is to break the eggs and mix them up. And just mix them up a little bit. Not too much, but just make sure it's all mixed up. That'll be fine. And then the next step is to melt the butter and add the water. Okay, and I'm melting the butter, and then I'll add the water. Okay, here it comes. And the next step is to add the flour, and I add it little by little. Well, actually, I'll just stick it in here and then make sure you don't get lumps in it. Of course, I can also add the salt and mix it in there. Okay, looks fine. Now I'm going to let it turn off the heat and let it cool down just a little bit before I add the 2 eggs. So this has cooled down a little. Of course, I don't have the heat turned on right now. I add the egg a little bit at a time. Mix it in. Okay, add some more. I guess I can add the rest of it, it'll be fine. And mix it all up. Make sure it all sticks together before you go on to the next step. And it looks like it's getting there. I should mention to you that occasionally some people like to add a little bit of cardamom. You can do that. It's up to you. You don't really need to. I just add a dash of it and that's it. But you don't want the cardamom to dominate over. But it does give it a nice little touch, I think. Just a little bit like that. I now put the batter in a pastry bag. Okay, so here it goes in. So I put the batter in the pastry bag, and now I squeeze it out and cut it off with a knife. I don't want it to be too big, you know. So it's kind of easy doing it this way. If you don't have a pastry bag, you could also make it with a teaspoon. But I think this is the easiest way of doing it. And then I'll let them cook for about 10 minutes. Okay, and I have the heat on, not too high. You might want to dip the fork in there in between. And we get a lot of small flour balls for our delicious soup. It's kind of fun doing it actually. I forgot to mention that I added a teaspoon of salt to the water before I started cooking the flour balls. Alright, and when all the flour balls are finished, they will come up to the surface of the water. But you want to cook them for about, like I said, 10 minutes, a total of 10 minutes, and at low heat. So mine are almost done, and pretty soon I will pick them up and put them in cold water until I'm ready to add them to the soup. And here I have all the flour balls in the cold water, and I'll save them. I'm going to make the meatballs now. And I'm now going to make my small meatballs, and I'm using the following ingredients. 1 pound of ground pork. If you don't want pork, just go ahead and use beef. That'd be fine as well. I have 2/3 cups of milk. I have 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of flour. I have 1.5 tablespoon of shredded onion, 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, and 2 teaspoons of salt. And of course, if you like ginger or any other spices, go ahead and add that. Some people do that, and I'm not doing it today. I'll just mix what I have right here. So pour in the milk. I add the 1 egg. Mix it up. Okay. Then I'm adding the onions, the salt, and the pepper. And here it goes in. And of course, let's mix it up a little bit, and then I'll add the flour. Keep stirring it so it's really mixed well. Here's the last tablespoon of flour, and it should be ready pretty soon. I just keep stirring it so it's really well mixed up. So I heated up the beef broth. That's the soup I'm going to serve, and I'm now going to make the meatballs. So I'm shaping the meatballs with a teaspoon. I dip it in the hot soup, then in the meat, and shape it and drop it in the soup. Okay, and that will give us a lot of meatballs. And when they come to the surface, they're usually finished. And of course, it will take me several minutes before I'm done with this. And you don't want the heat to be too high either. You want it to kind of simmer. And I'll be back in a little while. So the meatballs are finished. I take them up and leave them in the bowl until I'm ready to serve the soup. In the meantime, I'm going to cook the vegetable. And then the very last step is to add the meatballs as well as the flour balls. Okay. And here you see the flour balls in the water and the meatballs. They're still very hot. But I'll leave it like that until I'm ready with the rest of the soup. So here you see the vegetables for my Danish soup. I have half a cup of chopped up onions. I have about a cup of chopped up celery stick. If you have celery root, I will recommend you use that. I don't have it today. Then I have a leek chopped up. I have 1.5 cup of peas, green peas, and I have how about a cup of carrots. So I'm going to add it all to the soup. So here we pour in carrots, the onions, and I cook it for a couple of minutes. I don't like the vegetable too cooked. Okay, here comes the leek, and we have the celery, and finally the peas. And as soon as this has been cooking for a couple of minutes, I will add the meatballs and the flour balls, and the dinner is ready. So here we have the vegetables cooked, and I just added the flour balls as well as the meatballs. And doesn't it look good? I think so. I should mention that before you serve it, you want to taste a little bit of the soup and make sure it has the right flavor. Like salt and pepper might be needed. I don't know for sure yet. I'll taste mine. No, I like it just the way it is. It's so good. Oh, really brings back wonderful memories from all the parties we had in Denmark where they serve this kind of soup. So I'm ready to serve it. And of course I have to have a little bit of each. And it's going to be absolutely delicious and filling. And of course, if you like to, you could even add a few potatoes. That would be fine. You know, this way it's a complete dinner, really. And if you like, you can also add a sprinkle of parsley, which I actually like, but not everybody does that. But I think it gives it a nice touch, and I happen to like the taste of parsley. So let's start eating. So here you see my wonderful beef soup, and of course it's time for me to eat it. Here's a little flour ball, and I want to have a meatball, and of course we also have vegetable. But here we go, let's taste it. So here, taking a bite. It's so good. Oh, this is my favorite soup. There's no doubt about it. It's wonderful. Hi, here. You want to taste it too? Okay, I'll give you a little bit of a meatball then. Okay, I know you like it too. Here you go. All right, enjoy it, Harry. I know you can't get enough of that, but you can't eat it all, of course. Anyway, it's a wonderful soup. And of course, make a big portion because you can easily freeze some of it, so you have more for another day. Hopefully you also enjoy it. So, I know, yeah, no. Okay, I'll give you another one then. Okay, come on. Here, come on. Up. You want it? Okay, take it. Okay. Skål to all of you. I hope to see you another day. Bye-bye. Take care. And please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to our channel. I appreciate it.